Hey now, Luke here, Short Term Shop. I love you. It's a quick video to talk about double bookings, something we do not want to happen. And so I do have a video already on our YouTube channel, Short Term Shop on YouTube, that discusses how to sync your Airbnb and Vrbo calendars. And if you do this, very small margin of error there, of possibility for mistakes. From what I understand, it's 1 in 400. 1 in 400 is the number of double bookings if you are synced on Airbnb and Vrbo. Generally, this happens because the bookings took place at the exact same time. Johnny books on Airbnb, Joey books on Vrbo, exact same time. They both kind of slip through. Boom, double booked. Now, there's also property management softwares that are doing these blocks for you. I mean, there's dozens of them. IGMS, Your Porter, OwnerRez, Beds24, Hostfully. So the list goes on. And there's still room for error if you don't pay attention. So the truth of the matter is, if you get double booked, it's your fault. It's your fault. You've got to pay attention. You need to compare your Airbnb and your Vrbo calendars to your property management software calendar occasionally, maybe once a month, maybe once a week, whenever you feel necessary, to avoid double bookings. Because if you get two people show up at your house at the same time, that is not a good day. I've had over 3,000 stays in my career, and I've only had that exact scenario happen once, where they showed up at the same time. And you are ruining somebody's vacation, and the platform will not be on your side. Either platform, they're both going to tell you that it is your fault. Vrbo will take a little bit more pity on you than Airbnb. Airbnb is not going to be happy with you. So we need to avoid this at all costs. But if it does happen, worst case scenario happens, you're going to need to contact both guests. And you need to get one of them to cancel. If one of them is already in there, it's obviously pretty clear that you're going to need to get the person that just showed up after the fact. Maybe the first person, they booked at the exact same time, but maybe one of the stays started a day prior or 2 days prior. So they're already in there, or maybe they just happen to show up earlier than the other person on the same day. That is a pretty clear-cut decision that the new person is going to have to go. You're going to need to call them and beg them to cancel from their end, because as you know already, if you're following along, paying attention to the Short Term Shop YouTube channel, you cannot ever, ever, ever cancel a guest. So you need to get them to cancel from their end. And if they won't do that, you have no choice. You're going to have to cancel them. You're going to probably have to call Airbnb and or Vrbo and get them involved. And you're going to end up with a cancellation on your record. And you got to keep those cancellations to an absolute minimum, like 1 out of every 500 if you want to maintain your superhost status. So I believe it's less than 1% cancellations per reservation, or versus reservation to maintain superhost status. So you got to be very careful. Don't let this happen. Compare your calendars occasionally, and just be aware that at some point it will happen. It will probably happen on a Saturday afternoon when you're at the park with your family trying to enjoy life, and it always happens at the worst time. Just try and remain as calm as possible, and the best case scenario, you can get the second guest to cancel from their end. Obviously, you're going to offer them a full refund. And hopefully we can move on about our day. Now, that being said, if it's on Airbnb and this is happening day of the reservation, in other words, you didn't realize it was happening prior, they can still leave a review. Vrbo, they can probably also still leave a review. Vrbo's a little bit of a gray area as far as that's concerned. They may take your side on that. Now, if you're able to catch it early, like it just happened, much better chance that somebody's not going to be as upset. You can say, hey, I noticed you just booked this property. Unfortunately, there was a calendar mistake, and we're going to need you to go ahead and cancel. This property's already booked. They probably will still throw a fit and say, why is that person more special than I am, etc. So you're going to have to put on your customer service hat and use some good language to kind of sweet talk your way out of the situation. Not a good day, double bookings. And I feel for you if and when it does happen. But best case scenario, you get guest number 2 to cancel from their end and move on. And I wish you all the best if and when this does happen to you. I know it's very stressful, but we love you here at the Short Term Shop, and we are certainly here to help. And Cashflow Carl signing off.